Hey people, FlyingSoul still alive from Siberia. And yes, lately I was really wondering why people here are still surprised that I moved from Western countries, indeed Italy, to Siberia. I thought that because of globalization and a lot of foreigners are coming here, that wouldn't be surprised, but yeah, it still happens. So sometimes I have such situations when people are surprised that I'm living here. Not just traveling, okay? Because if you travel, it's normal. There are a lot of Westerners that just took the sense that they take the Trans-Siberian and they travel around Russia. So passing by is one thing. By living here is different. But as I told you in other videos, in previous video, I think that this city, it's more, especially I'm talking about Novosibirsk, it's more like for living than not just visiting, because there's nothing here. I mean, no, it's a touristic place, especially being so far from anything else. I wouldn't come here as a tourist. I would definitely skip it. But for living, it's really, really interesting. A lot more, for example, compared to Kazan, the place where I was living, the city where I was living before, which is extremely beautiful and it's a touristic attraction. But here, no. So yeah, when I see people, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still pleasant that people could be still surprised that I moved here. But really, after so much time and with so globalized world where we're living in, well, it's quite strange for me. But yeah, it seems so that there are some people who are surprised. But now, because of that, I just want to tell you the reason why I'm still here. You probably, if you watched previous video that I made while I was updating my situation here in Siberia, I told you that actually I don't have so many reasons to be still here because of globalization. Exactly. So living here or living in another place doesn't make a big difference. As long as I don't find a better opportunity somewhere else, I'm gonna stay here. Because first of all, there's no way that I'm going back to Italy. There's no way that I'm going back to any feminist town, in Western country. That's the main reason why I left it. And so no, I'm not going back there. I recently was talking with another Italian man who is living here and is going to leave this country at the end of this year, but he's not going back to Italy. He just will move to another one. Because I think that if you moved out from your country because you don't really like the situation in your country, you probably won't come back. And personally, I can tell you that the main reason is this, because I would feel like as a fail. Since I moved out from Italy because I couldn't live there anymore, I mean, for me, going back to Italy, it would sounds like failing. So, and there's nothing interesting there for me, really. So what I'm supposed to do if I go back to Italy? There is less job that I can find here. My friends already, I mean, except my best friends and a couple of more friends, I don't have any relationship there. So I will be just talking my family stuff, and that would be nothing. I would just get bored, like bored to death. So really, I don't have any reason to go back to Italy. And what keeps me still here, exactly in this city, it's because here I'm still quite, regardless of some problems that everybody has and I also have to solve, I'm still in my comfort zone. I still have a job, though lately I don't really like how it's going on. But I can always change and do something for it. But I have my circle of acquaintances here. I'm, let's say, in a word, integrated. That's because I can still living here as long as I don't find, as I told you before, a better opportunity to live abroad in another country. Not in Italy, not in the United States, not in Europe. I don't want to go back to such uncivilization. If I moved out from here, it would be from another Eastern country. It would probably be like, I told you, China or anyone else. The problem is that with China, lately was quite disappointing from, a lot of things that I'm not going to get into detail. So that's why I decided now I'm gonna stay here. But believe me, the main reason that could lead me to move out from this place would be a very good opportunity in terms of money. When I moved here in Russia, and I described it several times in other videos, it wasn't because of money, but I was looking for something else from a different type of society. And I explain you all the reason why I'm here, and I'm just telling you now that the main reason here is just because I'm integrated and I'm in my comfort zone. Even if not everything is perfect, I'm still living quite okay here. I like living here, even if there are many situations that I don't like it, but it would be the same everywhere else. So yeah, it's globalized. It's a big city, so as any other big city in the world, we have more or less the same shit. But still, let's say that in some way, any place and everywhere in the world can keep some kind of superficial and also very deep behavior from people. I mean, so in this case, I still appreciate living here, and especially when it comes to, recently there was the Men's International Man Day, and I know that many of you didn't know about that because it's not that popular like the Women International Day, but yeah, it exists, and it exists because of the situation that is going worse and worse in Western countries, especially in the United States and in England. And because of that, I don't want to go back in those countries. You know that okay, let me tell you just briefly that I lived my life and I was born when feminism took over, and so all my life I was living like as thinking about myself as a defect. That's because the society how it is. I mean, if you're a white, adult, straight man in Western countries, you are considered a defect. You are a potential rapist or a potential murderer, which is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, but that's what society teaches you. And feminists also make its part. So while I was traveling, I realized there are different ways, different type of society that could actually appreciate the fact that you are a man. And I told you this, and since I moved to Russia, I start to be appreciated as a man, which is an extremely important thing for me. So this is one of the main reasons why I'm still here. And then I told you, I have here a circle of acquaintances. I know a lot of people, really a lot. Okay, I don't have any real friends, but that's just because friendship, as I told you also about this in other videos, that friendship in Russia, it's something extremely important. And you do not make friendships so easily here, but once you have a friend, it's a friend for life, for sure, 100%. But I can't say that other people who are not my friends are not that good. Because as I told you, here I got a lot of help, real help that I would never even imagine to have from my friends in Italy. But here I got it, even from people who are just acquaintances. And they did not ask anything back. So it doesn't mean that I didn't try to, of course, to give something back, because I don't feel comfortable just to receive help and don't give anything if they need. But still, such situation happens. So briefly, to summarize, at the moment, I'm gonna stay here for a little while more, since I don't find a better opportunity to live somewhere else. Of course, I really would like to live another life experience, but I'm not going to do that again from zero as I did when I came here, because I struggled a lot, especially like 2 years ago. I was really in a bad situation in general, like psychologically and economically, very bad situation. I had to get into some trouble that I'm still trying to solve it. But now at the moment I finally reached my goal, that was just show to myself that I'm able to live on my own in another country, especially a country which is like so different from the one that I came from. So this is basically the reason, and this is how I'm going to live at least for another year, though things here are changing a lot, and as I told you, a lot more Westerners are moving here. That should be a reason, so think about it. That's all for now, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned, subscribe, and see you for the next video. Bye bye.